You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com.
I think the Republicans are suffering from what's called a Faustian bargain. About 10 years ago, after losing to Obama, they decided that it was worth bringing in the dregs of America, as Hillary Clinton called them, the deplorables, the conspiracy theorists, the violent mobs, the militias who were on the outside of American politics, and they brought them into the Republican Party in order to beat Obama. That is how these people got into American politics. But what we saw is that metastasized, that you end up getting rid of John Boehner, you got rid of Eric Cantor, and then eventually these outliers turned into the leadership of the party. You know, Ted Cruz and Rand Paul used to be outliers in the Republican Party. Now they are the standard bearers for the party. So now Mitch McConnell is faced with a situation where he has a caucus full of conspiracy theorists, racist, misogynistic, xenophobic, jingoistic individuals who have no interest in America but have an interest in supporting Trumpism and all that comes with Trumpism and trying to figure out how to create a governing majority. And that's why this impeachment is so crucial and important, because we're seeing these standard, middle-of-the-road, regular Republicans, the Republicans that we used to still hate. Those same Republicans are still around, but at least they are operating from the same set of facts as the rest of us. At least they are operating the same shared universe, same reality, same mathematics, same version of physics that we are operating on. Because what we saw from the Trumpers and from this MAGA movement is losing by 7 million votes means that it got stolen from us. That no amount of math or reality is sufficient to force them to play from the same set of cards as we are. So I think mainstream Republicans are going to have to work to bring the party back to to traditional values and work on purging themselves of these people who are violent separatists, who are extremists, who are part of the Texit movement, who want to remove Texas from the Union, who believe that this will be a whites-only nation. At many of the worst parts of American society, they have bargained with them, and they have to work on fighting back against that.
The thing that is really amazing here, Scott, is what the Republicans didn't understand, well, maybe they do understand, is that if you let this man get away, and this is why the impeachment is so important. If you had let this man get away with this nonsense, you're basically saying to any future president, do what the hell you want to do. We will never hold you accountable.
Well, we saw that in the first impeachment, though, didn't we? I mean, the Republicans let him get away with shaking down a president of a foreign country in exchange for dirt on a political opponent, and they didn't remove him from office. I guess the real danger here on all of this is, as Robert said about the RNC and what they have to do, well, they're not prepared to do that right now. What Trump has done is brought out these deplorables, right? And now they vote. And so one of the challenges for the representatives of the House, as well as the GOP Senate, is part of that Faustonian deal is that they want to get reelected. And these Trump supporters aren't GOP supporters, but they still vote, and they're most likely to vote with the GOP. And they're terrified of either being primary or they're terrified of getting beat. And so the RNC has a choice. I don't think they're prepared to make that choice, because the same head of the RNC was reelected without any competition whatsoever. Trump and the insurrection and the match he lit was never even brought up in Florida at their meetings. And so the real question, not for Democrats, but the GOP, is where does the party go from here? Where does Trumpism go from here? But they're inextricably linked to one another right now. And the Democrats have to fight both of those until the GOP sorts this out. They don't seem to be in a big rush to do it. I got 20,000 National Guard in D.C. right now. I can't even get to my office because of Donald Trump and this GOP nonsense.
The actions taken today, Monique, when we put them in historical context, I go back to the purpose of impeachment. This is the only recourse Congress has to truly hold a president accountable. Impeachment is supposed to be the ultimate thing. House impeaches, the Senate convicts or acquits. Republicans have basically said, you know what, do whatever. And when Trump said, I could stand on Fifth Avenue and kill somebody and my supporters would not leave me, everybody, all these media people and Republicans, oh, he's just joking. He's just,
no, he wasn't.
Oh, that's just a figure of speech. No, he was 100% correct. And Monique, they are proving that he was right. They are willing to let him do anything because they want to stay in power. This is about power and control.
Absolutely. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And we are seeing what that looks like in real time and how that can threaten the very principles of our democracy. And we weren't close to perfect in the execution of what a democracy should be in the first place. We have systems in place that I don't have to talk to your listeners about, from the vestiges of slavery up till now, that make this a very imperfect union. But we are seeing what the corruption and perversion looks like when you can buy your place into an office, when you can use blackmail in order to gain support, when you can put the squeeze on pretty much anybody, elected officials, and when foreign influences are actually controlling, foreign countries that are supposed to be our adversaries are actually controlling the person who runs in the highest office of the land. And so the entire system, and I mean rooter to tutor, it has to be shaken, turned upside down and shaken to see what's going to fall out. Because to Robert's point, we don't just have these rogue GOP members. They want to carry weapons in the Capitol now because they aren't a part of the same DC reg that they can't carry them. They are spreading coronavirus. The assault on the Capitol turned into a super spreader event that is preying on the infirm among them and those with pre-existing conditions. There are members of Congress right now that are a real threat to their own colleagues. So it's not just that the impeachment has to have some teeth. All of it, removal has to. I mean, Al Franken got pushed out of office because of an allegation. And we've got people now staying in office that are treasonous, that are supporting insurrection, that have no oath whatsoever except for to this president. So there's so much more that needs to be done under this Biden-Harris administration in order to just reconstruct actually some pillars into the entire operation of what it looks like to be a federal government.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
It's time to be smart. When we control our institutions, we win. This is the most important news show on television of any racial background. Y'all put $2, $3, $4, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30 on this and keep this going. What you've done, Roland, since this crisis came out in full bloom. Anybody watching this, tell your friends. Go back and look at the last 2 weeks, especially of Roland Martin Unfiltered. I mean, hell, go back and look at the last 2 days. You've had sitting United States senators today, Klobuchar and Harris. Whatever you have, you can bring to Roland Martin Unfiltered to support it. Please do, because this information may literally save your life.
Watch Roland Martin Unfiltered daily at 6 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, or Periscope, or go to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered Daily Digital Show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com.